going on, guys? Welcome back to another small short on DK's Garage. I picked up I literally just told my wife to not make me laugh, and she's over there giggling like a little dingus right now. So, pardon me while I go strangle her. Anyways, I picked up a Part Shop Max full angle kit. They're knuckle, lower arm, and upper arm. And I wanted to do a little unboxing video. I was looking on, briefly looking on YouTube for a full angle kit by PBM that somebody had did an unboxing and an install on, and I couldn't really find one. So hopefully this will give some clarity and some insight as to what you get with the full kit, as well as how it stacks up to like WiseFab, which I've had, as well as FDF and GK Tech and all that stuff, which I've all had as well. So we'll go ahead and start with what I think is going to be the fun part, is the knuckles. So we'll go ahead and chop this open and then show you guys what they look like. Alright, so here is the forged aluminum knuckle. As far as I know, PBM is the only one, or Part Shop Max is the only one that does a forged aluminum knuckle for the Z33 angle kits. There was a brief stint where FDF had like a billet aluminum knuckle, or whole angle kit at that, but they didn't really advertise it because it wasn't very cost effective for them. So I like this because the knuckles that come on the Z are forged aluminum, so Part Shop Max taking the extra step to kind of like, I guess respect the fact that that's how quality the suspension was on the Z from the factory. So yeah, and these are sweet. Not very heavy either. I mean, obviously being forged aluminum, they're pretty light. I know that the FDF and like WiseFab knuckles, they're kind of heavy because they're big, thick steel. But this is fairly light. So now we're going to go ahead and open up the. We'll do the upper camber arms next, show you guys those, give you a little quick demo of those, but first I'll give you a little up close and of the knuckle. These are cool too because they use factory style lower ball joints. Almost forgot to mention that. So those are purchasable at like AutoZone. They're just a factory size. The kit does come with them. So, and Part Shop Max also does sell replacement ones as well. So it's pretty cool. Oh, another thing I will note too is this one actually has the location for your factory ABS sensor if you were for some reason to want to run those. I mean, maybe it was a street car. So yeah, on for the upper arms. So here we have the upper control arms. Do not know if these are on-car adjustable. I don't think they are, because I don't see a double sleeve. It's not the end of the world, but they are also forged aluminum, as the stock upper control arms are on 350Zs. So that's also really cool. So I will be able to slap these on hopefully whenever the rain lets up. It's coming down pretty good out there. But yeah, let's give you a little quick up close and personal view look at it. Got nice quality time joints. Also got these to lock it in place once you get it to settings, and then also a secondary nut to lock that down too. And you got serviceable bushings up here, obviously spherical. Pretty lightweight too as well, like I said, forged aluminum. So I weighed my FDF Mega Mantis kit before I sold it. It was their version 2 on-car adjustable, so like their latest and greatest. and one side, tie rods and all, the billet offset spacer, every nut and bolt that you would basically have with the kit, weighed 38 pounds. So I'll do the same with the PBM and see how much it comes out to, and then obviously let you guys know what that ends up being. So this is cool. I really like the forged aluminum aspect of this because of weight, and as so far so it seems that it's fairly lighter than the FDF kit. So and the Wisefab as well, because it's the same thick steel design. So we'll go ahead and next we'll open up the lower arm kit, the actual angle kit part, and we'll show you that. And then after we go through that, I'll go ahead and do a brief install video. I'm not going to get into detail on my installs. Like, I don't really do that just because it's not like a DIY channel. It's more just I guess like show you like how things kind of go on, not really like tell you every step, So anyways, we'll go ahead and get the lower arm and open up, and I'll give you guys a look at that. Alright, so here is the lower control arm. The caster adjustment point on this one is on car adjustable, which is clutch because you don't have to remove the big 8-point brace up front to adjust this, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Also, adjustable bump stop, split bar mounting location. This is the second time I've bought a PBM angle kit. The first time it was just the lower parts kit, so I've already kind of been through the ringer of like setting it up and like what works best. So this bolt right here that goes through this caster arm into the lower control arm comes up here. The head of this bolt right here is a lot thinner than the supplied nut, so I actually flip this bolt around so that there's more clearance for the tie rod on this end. And it gets pretty close down there, at least with the factory knuckle. So we'll see with the roll center correction knuckles, the Forged ones the Max offers. So other than that, this is pretty much everything you're gonna get. Obviously, the few other small things like I'm not going to be using these because my rack is relocated, but it does come with the rack offset spacers. Your little hardware for the frame studs. PBM's extended tie rods. I ordered 2 sets just because it saves on shipping, and these are like the fail points. So just good to have an extra set. So yeah, that's the unboxing of the full Parts Shop Max Angle Kit for 350Z and G35. So now we're going to go ahead and get to kind of setting our lengths on all the arms before we go out to install it, and then we'll go ahead and go out and install it. Okay, so with control arm setup, particularly the lower control arm, the heim joint that goes to the subframe, minimum bury on this into the arm itself is 3/4 of an inch. So that'll give you the widest track stance possible out of this kit. So that's what we're going to set it to, because it's where you get more of that scrub radius, I guess. So I'll go ahead and get this installed at 3/4 of an inch. So what I'll do is I'll measure the threads, a little tape measure here, and then I will set the little lock nut there at 3/4, tighten it down, thread that all the way in to the control arm, and that'll be my starting point with the alignment. And then same principle kind of goes for the upper control arms. For track width purposes, we'll probably set these all the way out to like maybe same 3/4 of an inch bury, depending on how long this is, maybe 5/8 because it's a slightly thinner thread, or maybe about 3/4. So we'll do the same thing on this, lock those in. We'll get these installed, and then obviously once we get to the alignment shop, then it's going to be a whole different can of worms, but this is where you start, in my opinion. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the caster arm. This one is on-car adjustable, so what I'm going to do is just set it to the middle threads on both ways, so that I can have more adjustment, you know, either way, whichever way I need to go for the alignment. Right now it was sunk all the way in, so we're going to spin it all the way out, measure it, and then set it like a halfway. So, looks like this Heim is really long. The sleeve itself is shorter. He's sleeping. Anyways, so the Heim, we're going to take that all the way out and measure it. I will say this about GK Tech. They have like top-notch instructions, let alone just having instructions. They tell you what they want, you know, the ideal settings for all your Heim joints are and everything. So that's kudos to GK Tech for that, because no other angle kit company like gives you instructions. So, but I mean, Part Shop Max, real quick phone call. Tommy down there gave me lengths, set it to. So it's not like it's, you know, unobtainable information that you just have to figure out. It's just nice to have a piece of paper. It saves you the phone call. But so anyways, we're almost done threading this incredibly long Heim joint out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back down. Now it looks like we're gonna go to the thread there. We'll just tighten that all the way up. A measuring point. So it's 3 inches. So we're gonna set this sleeve to 1.5 inches thread cover here. So 1.5 inches from top of this nut to top of this one here. You goofy kid. Okay. A little too far, back it off another 1/8 or so. Okay, got that 1.5 inches. So we'll pull this one back out. Okay, now this guy is 2 inches here. So we'll just set this ring at 1 inch from the back here, so it buries in 1 inch. So rule of thumb, when you thread in any type of Heim joint, is you at least want the diameter of whatever you're threading in inserted. So let's say this is 3/4 of an inch wide, you want to bury it into the fitting at least 3/4 of an inch. So now we're centered, 1.5 inches for this 3 inch one, 1 inch for the 2 inch one. So now we're going to reinstall it into the controller. It's our starting point. Again, this one's on-car adjustable, so once we get it on there, if it doesn't want to line up with anything, then we can simply just twist this nut here. While this is in place, and it'll move it in and out. So I kind of wish all of the Heim joints were like this, even if the kit was more expensive because of it, because that would just make aligning the car so much more easy. The upper control arm, they have enough meat on these forged aluminum knuckles to just drill out the holes bigger and thread them for a sleeve like this. So I don't know why they don't, honestly, but who knows? Maybe they will eventually. Okay. So that's set the length. Most adjustment I'll be able to get out of it. So now we will do the same with the upper control arm, the other lower control arm, the other upper control arm, and then we'll go out bolt it all on, and then, you know, eyeball the alignment so it drives straight enough to get it on the trailer, and then take it down the alignment shop. Okay, so I start. You can do this in which order you want, except for the knuckle first, obviously, but I do the lower control arm first. And I leave the little washer off there just for easy installation. Once I get everything on there, I'll just kind of get that pushed up when I'm ready to do the 8-point brace, because as soon as you take that nut off the bottom there, it's just going to fall out. So that's how you avoid losing those things. So anyways, lower control arm is installed. Everything's just on, hand tight for now. Once I get everything installed, I'll go around and button everything up all together at once so I don't miss anything. So next we're going to install the upper control arms, and I'll get some better lighting out here. Good old daylight savings time. So, okay, so little trick I learned a while ago having to replace these. Throw the ball joint in the freezer for a good while before you want to install them into the knuckles, because heat expands and cold shrinks, so it makes it a little easier to knock them into the knuckle. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up, and then we'll hammer this little guy in there. Okay, so I actually had this FTF W brace lying around that I never got around to installing, but I will eventually. But it has all these little recessed areas. This one here in particular is the perfect size. Nice flat surface for it to be butted up against for me to finish hammering this down. Okay, so the little crown nuts that come with the ball joints aren't the greatest, so I'm going to use this old GK Tech tie rod end because there's like no use for it. Just flip it over that, and it's on the little cone edge here. I'll hammer that down now. Okay, now that I drove my family crazy, this ball joint is set. Threads are good, so no grease, no nothing. Not very difficult. Usually 2-pound sledgehammer. So now, your little C-clip. These are kind of a pain in the butt to install, and if you don't have the little pliers, they can finesse on there. Okay, you just push it around the edge. Snaps right in. You can do this without any tools. Literally just catch one end and kind of use your thumb to work it around. So C-clip's installed. Boo! You wearing one of my 4 clean shirts?
And your boxers.
Super.
I'm pregnant. Dada. How was your date?
Okay. All right, now these are all ready to be installed. Excuse me. I kind of wish Parts Shop Max would install these before they ship them out. I mean, because it's not like you can use this without this installed. So that'd be cool. You know, most people don't have access to like a press or like mechanical tricks of the trade to get these installed, so it's just one extra thing you kind of have to worry about if you go with the full kit. But just my thought. I mean, at least they include them. So now we're gonna go slap this on the car and just get an idea of what it looks like all on there, and that'll be a wrap for today. I'll install the hubs and the calipers and all that tie rod stuff tomorrow because it's getting late and I want to spend time with my family. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Okay, so I actually got a little ahead of myself and installed everything. It's been on the car for a little while now. But got everything on there, eyeball alignment. Gets pretty modest amount of angle. Now, this is eyeball alignment, so once everything's dialed in, it'll be a little better, but literally hitting on the bolt here for the strut mount, the tie rod's hitting there. So I was considering trying to see if I can find some grade 8 hardware with a slightly thinner head, so give me more clearance that way. And then, oh, also worth noting, on the other side, I have these limit break outer tie rods, because I have a steering rack relocation on this car, a Wisefab rack relocation, because offset rack spacers suck, to be honest. So come on, this side you can see a little better. Yeah, you can see it's underneath there. Yeah, the rack relocated. It's kind of dark. But yeah, so basically, what PBM sends you rack offset spacers, which in themselves are like about an inch thick, and the outer tie rod little coupling that they send is actually too short if you're not using that spacer, the rack offset spacer. So Tommy down there at Parts Shop Max sent me these, and it worked out perfect. So if you do have a rack relocation and you want to run the full PBM kit, or even just a lower kit actually at that, you're going to need these limit break outer tie rods. So I'll set the camera down real quick and do a little like steering demonstration from the front, and show you guys how much angle it gets. And this is an eyeball alignment again, so take all this with a grain of salt. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the PBM angle kit. I'll be doing an alignment on this pretty soon, or getting alignment done on this pretty soon, and then be curious to get it back in the air and see if it like changes, and I can use this video for like a kind of a base point. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, gave you some insight onto the angle kit differences and stuff like that, because I've had plenty. I have FDF, Wisefab, GK Tech, PBM. Oh, one thing I will note on the Parts Shop Max kit, their knuckles there, little back bolt there, the tie rod pickup point, there is no Ackerman adjustment on these kits. So I have just the lower parts kit on my other car, drives fantastic, and so whatever they have, how they have this design, the Ackerman's perfect in my opinion. So but just worth noting, there is no Ackerman adjustment. So other than that, don't think there's any other things to go over with it. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and always stay tuned for more on DK's Garage.